a bang.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're not new to my channel, hey, and welcome back to the mess. It's crazy because last year I had announced that I had went to Europe, and this year I'm announcing that I went to Africa, so your boy's international. As you guys can tell by the titles, yes, I am just coming back from Africa, specifically the country of Ghana, and I had an amazing time. I was able to travel to Ghana through a program called HBCU, which stands for the HBCU African Education Coalition. The program takes different students from different HBCUs to Africa, specifically Ghana, in order to learn more about the continent, learn more about the country, and also give back to the country by doing different service learning projects and pretty much, you know, being of service to the continent of Africa. And I wanted to just come on here and share my experience because it was definitely an experience. First off, I want to talk about the feeling of home in Africa. So one of the things that I was told a lot while being in Africa was, one, welcome home, and two, come back home. Those are some really strong, you know, sayings for me because obviously being that I'm African American, we're told that America is our home and that we don't have a home in Africa, but I think that's BS. And when I came to Ghana, that just kind of solidified that as African Americans, or even just black people of the African diaspora, there is a home for us in the motherland, and a lot of Ghanaians were very welcoming to us and very, you know, hospitable toward us. I just really appreciated that, and it did kind of bring about this feeling of home. And it's also cool because for once I'm not the minority because I'm in a country that is also predominantly black. For once it was kind of cool just not having to worry about, you know, being black or, you know, being hyper aware of my skin color because everyone else around me was my same skin color. Next I want to talk about the food. I'm not gonna lie, the first week I was there, the food kicked my butt, and it wasn't just me because like I said, I traveled with a group and other people in my group were also getting sick. That's not to say that the food in Ghana is bad, because it's not, though it does take your stomach some time to get adjusted to the things that you eat because a lot of the food that they eat in Africa is different than what we're accustomed to eating in America. After my stomach did get adjusted to the food that they ate in Africa, I was able to enjoy myself more, but I'm not gonna lie, that first week it was not pretty. I did eat things like fufu and jollof rice. I don't think there was a meal that we ate where jollof rice wasn't served. I'm not gonna lie, their food is pretty good, so definitely a 10 out of 10. And also, this is kind of weird, but their juices are really natural. Living in America, you know, our juices are like crammed with a whole bunch of artificial sugars and just stuff that's bad for your body. But in Ghana, everything's natural, which was really nice and really refreshing. Next, I want to talk about my favorite part, which were the slave castles / slave dungeons. And they were my favorite part because, for one, being that I graduated from Tennessee State University with a minor in Africana Studies, one of the things that I learned in my Africana Studies courses, such as African diaspora and the African American experience, were the slave castles in Ghana, specifically the Cape Coast Castle, which was the first slave castle that we visited.
Because I saw what everybody else had on it.
We should understand that the transatlantic slave trade was not introduced by the Africans, but the Europeans. Was taken out to the shore And I'm sure they were placed on boats and they joined the bigger ships. So that's how come we call it robbery return, because through this door, they were moved out of this continent to the Caribbean, the West Indies, North and South America.
Being there in person, you're able to kind of put yourself in the shoes of your ancestors and visually see what they had to experience and deal with being in a cramped cell for God knows how long, until a ship arrives to ship you off to the new world like you're a piece of cattle. And it was just really eye-opening, and we had some great tour guides that gave us a lot of good information.
Mansa Musa established Timbuktu as a center of learning. So some centuries back, the universities or the libraries we had in Africa was even better than that of Europe. It was also orchestrated by the Dutch Protestant Church. Right, so I wanted us to come inside. I would want to tell us the life of the views again.
And just being there in person was a lot. And then we also went to the Elmina Castle, and that was also a castle that was used to transport enslaved Africans from Africa to the New World.
The triangular slave trade, simply because the network involves Africa on the eastern side, the New World on the western side, and Europe to the north. They were not coming from Ghana alone. To this side, Burkina Faso, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Cameroon, and the rest.
Oh, I'm not getting no closer than this. It just kind of opened my eyes, and it made me realize that a lot of the systems that were put in place 400, 500 years ago are still being practiced within the diaspora to this day. One of the things that our tour guides told us was that a lot of European enslavers would use divide and conquer against enslaved Africans to keep them from rebelling against them. Enslaved Africans were being taken from different parts of Africa and different regions in Africa, so a lot of them didn't come from the same tribe, didn't speak the same language, and because of that, it was easy to cause division against them to keep them from trying to unite together. And that stuff still happens today. We can see that within the African diaspora with the diaspora wars. Oh, you're African American and that's an African and they don't like you, so therefore y'all shouldn't have any connection together, which obviously is bullcrap to keep us from uniting. So a lot of the practices that they used 400, 500 years ago are still being used today, which is very crazy to think about, but it's the truth. Another thing that was really eye-opening to me was the Atlantic Ocean. The waters of the Atlantic are rough. It's like going to Florida on vacation where you want to get in the ocean and ride the waves. There is no riding the waves in Ghana because those waves will ride you. Seeing how brutal and strong those waves are made me think about how my ancestors must have been terrified, because a lot of the Africans that were taken from regions inland, not near the coast. And a lot of them had to ferry a boat just to get to the actual ship. And the fact that my ancestors had to ferry a boat on rough waters to get on a ship to take them somewhere that they knew nothing about was sad. And again, it just shows how brutal slavery really was. Another favorite part of mine was doing the service learning projects. Part of being on the trip was that we had to do service learning projects with the children in Ghana. So we went to different schools in different parts of Ghana and pretty much did service with the children, which was amazing. They were super nice, super welcoming. They loved us and we had a lot of fun.
I mean, the
We actually taught one of them the TSU chant. We really just enjoyed being able to give back to Ghana. That was a really fun aspect of the trip. While there, we also had to go to a conference, and the conference was based around a Pan-African discussion of the African diaspora and how we can merge and come together as one, being that we're all in different parts of the world, which was a really good eye-opening discussion.
Came onto the continent during the time of colonization and when we were fighting for the decolonization of Africa. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, George Patmore, Maya Angelou, the list could go on. And these are people that have done great work to get us to where we are now.
During the conference, we got to experience a lot of Ghanaian culture and Ghanaian art and dance, and we also showed them a little bit of what us as African Americans have to offer. While I was in Ghana, I also turned 22, which was pretty dope considering the fact that last year on my birthday, I turned 21 in Spain, and this year I turned 22 in Ghana, so that was pretty dope. We did a lot that day. We went to Tockham Park, and we did a lot of hiking and a lot of sweating, and it was a lot, but it was very fun and rewarding at the end.
I didn't know it was back to back like this.
Look how deep it is, y'all.
Yeah, that's my song.
And we also visited the last bath, which was the last bath that our ancestors were given before being taken to the slave dungeons and slave castles of Ghana. While in Ghana, we stayed in Accra, and we also went to Cape Coast, and Cape Coast was a very eye-opening experience because it has a lot of history pertaining to slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. Overall, I had a really good experience in Ghana. I wish it was longer because I was only there for about 2 weeks and some change, but for the time that I was there, I definitely enjoyed myself. I bought a lot of stuff, including this necklace, from a lot of different vendors in Ghana, and it was just a great experience overall. If you are an HBCU student, whether that be freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, please consider going to HAIC. I will leave their website probably in my description in case anybody else who goes to an HBCU would like to attend. I definitely think it's a great experience, especially if you've never traveled before, let alone travel to Africa. I definitely think that'd be a good experience, especially if you are African American or a black person within the African diaspora. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.